scandals, hacking, data misuse. For tech companies, the problems keep stacking up. But so does the advertising money. This year, digital ad spending in the US is expected to overtake traditional advertising for the first time. Publicis Sapient helps companies, established companies, find their feet in the digital world. Clients include heavyweights like Samsung, McDonald's, Microsoft, Citi, and Unilever. Nigel Vaz is the CEO of Publicis Sapient, and he joins us now. So we're seeing huge disruption in terms of where people are putting their advertising money. But you're a bit different. You're a shell within Publicis that says, look, this is how you get customers in and you build your digital brand. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For us, we think the brand is the experience and the experience is the brand. And more, the promise that you make to customers has to be delivered through what they're experiencing. And that experience is built through technology. So our history comes from the technology space and transforming what you experience as a customer every day.
Right. So give me an example of a customer that you worked with.
One of the areas we work in is the automotive space, and our client Nissan is a good example of that. They're recognizing more and more that cars today are about technology, but not of the hardware kind, of the software kind. So how do you create an experience in the car and through the car buying experience by using artificial intelligence and data to personalize your experience of buying a car and making sure the product that you get is one that you want to use?
So where does advertising fit in this role? I mean, I know you're a part of Publicis, but how do you fit? Because one of the big challenges we see here is that you've got a challenge in that business consultants are kind of stealing market share from you guys. And on the advertising side, all the money is being pumped in. The majority of the money is going to Facebook, Amazon, and Google.
So if you think about Publicis, there's two businesses, right?
Yes.
Publicis itself is a comms business with brands like Saatchi and Leo Burnett and one of the largest buyers of media. But with Publicis Sapient, what they have is a business that is about digital transformation, which is competing with the consultants head-on in a space that Sapient, the company they acquired that became Publicis Sapient, came from. So we've been in that business for a long time. You know, we started almost 30 years ago helping businesses get to grips with the internet. And at the time, it was called being an internet-enabled business. And then post the dot-com bust, it became about digital transformation. And everybody's talking about it. But the reason they're talking about it is because you and I, as people, care about the things that we use as much as we care about what brands tell us about those things. So it's great that somebody makes a promise. So the way we think about it as Publicis Group is Publicis helps brands build a relationship with the customer, and Publicis Sapient's job is to help that customer experience that relationship and help that brand live up to that promise.
What's the biggest challenge that you face at this moment in doing that? Is it companies' lack of understanding of actually what digitalization means, or are they getting to grips with that, but they still come to you and say, okay, we need to be more digital, but how?
I think it's the how. I think for us, everything revolves around the how. Lots of people can talk about helping you become more digital, but you have to get to the how is where it happens. So how do you deal with incentives and culture? How do you deal with a business that was a bank but now has to behave like a software company? That was a retailer but now has to behave like an engineering company? That was a, I mean, you name it, an auto company.
A traditional car company that now needs to be fully technology and automatic. And,
combining experience and design with engineering, with data and AI to constantly refine it. Transformation for us isn't a destination. It's not like you work with a client and they're transformed. It's a journey, and it's a constantly iterative journey. So a lot of clients struggle with the fact that the change is constant, and the rate of change is increasing, and the impact or the scale of change is increasing exponentially.
What's the most exciting space at this moment, do you think?
I think for us, the biggest space is probably the fact that digital has gone from being the number 5 or 10 priority in a CEO list, so tangential, to being existential. You talk to any CEO of any industry, financial services, retail, auto, what is one of your top 3 priorities? It's how do we become a digital bank? How do we become a digital retailer? How do we become a digital auto company? And we feel like we're right in that sweet spot and have been helping companies do this our whole lives.